This person was one of our first 3 certified YogaNurse, the triad, me and Angela in Texas, and then Damaris is here with us. And so we're going to begin by sharing a little video clip. This is something that will introduce her better than anything I could say. And then we're going to turn the mic over to Damaris, and she's going to share a little bit about her yoga nursing journey. So give me just a moment, I'm going to get that started.
Yeah, you've just got a very quiet voice. You want to make sure you hold that mic right up to your chin. Because I got your mic maxed out right.
Events that had happened overseas. One, as a woman, having to deal with just all of those adversities, and I knew that it was going to be hard, but I didn't realize how hard it was. And then when I came back and I had to find some calmness, and the only thing that I had helped was, they had given me every medication in the world, and they said, all right, well, you'll be okay, but why don't you try some exercise? And I was like, well, I'm not gonna walk, I don't really wanna do that. And then they said, well, go to this yoga class, it'll help. And a couple times I've tried it, and then, but then after a few times I was able to come to my breath, close my eyes. And sometimes I finally found that I wasn't afraid. I was okay with who I was. I was okay with, not wanting to stay in the service anymore. I was so distraught. I thought I was going to be like one of those 20-year sailors. I was good at it. I thought that was what I was supposed to do. And I couldn't even, for a point in time, like I couldn't even live with myself. Like I didn't want to be here anymore. I mean, I was almost killed overseas, from like being deployed in Iraq and Kuwait, but I couldn't even be with myself here, home, safe, because I was afraid, I was alone, I was dealing with the stress and the nightmares and insomnia, But the only thing that brought me peace, no matter how much medicine they could give me, and my back was hurting, my neck was hurting, I could sit down, close my eyes, and finally, like, meditate, And I was like, oh my God, this meditation's gonna work, like, what the heck? But eventually, after a few times, and I was better. I mean, it saved my life between that, and family support and a dog. And I mean, I will never forget what yoga has done for me. And that's why I am a huge advocate for anyone else that would like to practice, because it'll save their life. The yoga for me, after being deployed and then coming back, I just had such a scattered mind, and I was so lost. And the yoga brought me calmness, brought me serenity, and brought me a peace that I couldn't find in anything that I would do. And it was between coming to my breath, closing my eyes. I really felt more comfortable, and then I finally was like, oh my goodness, there is like a light at the end of this, like darkness, because I was so stressed, and I really couldn't sleep. I had nightmares, I had a lot of things that were just really hard to deal with, and it seemed to be the only thing that at that moment was calming me down.
Yoga has benefited me because I feel much more comfortable with my body and the positions I can take. It also gives me an opportunity.
So please help me in welcoming my YogaNurse sister, Damaris.
Hi guys, how are you? Thank you for having me. So I am one of the 3 first certified yoga nurses. For me, the connection of bringing yoga and nursing together was like kind of a no-brainer. But it did take a couple of years through my nursing career to get me where to bring them. I was in the Navy, and then I had some trouble with transitioning, and I was medically trained when I was in the Navy, and I came out. I was an LPN, then I was an RN. I've worked in since 2000. 2 in the medical field, and then I got out, I became a nurse, and I've worked in community health in Newark. I work in pediatric rehab, and now I work at New York Presbyterian, and I also work still in community health. I work with veterans. I found yoga and nursing through the years when I realized I love yoga, and I kind of get adapted to that. I loved being a nurse. And a few years into my career, I was like, they both work. How can I bring this, to my patients? I have the intuition. I care about people. I love being a yogi. I have my breath, and it saved me. But I also love being a nurse. So how can I do both and be and be like me? And so of course I Googled online. I went and looked at different things, and sure, who pops up? The yoga nurse. And it's like, what in the world is this yoga nurse? Oh my goodness, is this what? And my real feeling was, this is me. I'm a yogi at heart. It saved me to bring, I love being a nurse. I don't know anything, all of you are nurses or maybe, or in the healthcare field. You're here to take care of people. And you have that intuition and awareness without even realizing. And if you can bring 2 elements to expand consciousness within yourself, and then bring it to other people and patients, oh my God, this totally makes sense. But when so I did the essentials. I didn't meet Annette initially. I met, it was online. And then I went and kind of meditated or kind of sat with myself, and I said, should I be a CYN? Is that where I should transition? I had done my, I was in the middle of doing a teacher training. This is around 2012, 2013. I was in the middle of doing a teacher training for yoga, and working and certifying and, just doing my work. And I kind of was like, I think I want to be a CYN. I think this is definitely where, where my path is. But I said, well, how do I do this? So, I went online and I applied and I spoke with Annette, and we had a couple conversations. And I became a CYN. And initially, I was not sure how I was going to implement this. And I said, it's going to come, 7 postures, and I didn't get it. So I was one of the 3 that I think I didn't understand the power of where yoga nursing can go for people and patients and anyone, and for myself. And I'm so grateful for where I am today because of Annette and for believing in me, and a lot of other people and things that have come up. I'm so lucky and so blessed because I believe in the mission of where it can go and where I can, where you can take it. For example, last year we all met, Carrie, myself, and Angela, and Annette live. We met last year, and we never met before that. But I had the faith and the belief that there was something beyond this, there's something here, and these 7 postures were so simple. I was like, I'm a yogi, how am I gonna do this? Is it gonna, go beyond? So would you believe from just a year, I literally speak almost every week or every other week, either in yoga nursing, in hospitals, in helping patients. I have my own small practice. In Rutherford, I work and do yoga therapy with patients. I go to hospitals with a nonprofit group, and we do therapeutic yoga throughout all of the tri-state area. Some, nonprofit karma, some getting paid. And because of yoga nursing, I can say, I'm a yoga nurse. I believe in implementing and expanding consciousness. I believe in taking the simple breath, closing my eyes so that people can feel good. And sometimes that simple thought, it's like, well, I can do that. And you're like, can you? Are you really closing your eyes and really trying to chill out? You had a 12-hour day. You've worked a whole day. But can you find 5 minutes in your day to breathe? To really breathe? So even teaching like that one part of the sacred remedy has made a difference. And yes, I did my teacher training, but it's beyond that. It's about making your patient feel good, giving the caregiver and the hospital. I work in ICU too, so I've been able to sit and just put my hands with a patient and see a heart rate decrease. Sit with the caregiver that may be sitting at the bedside and just do like an arm stretch and twisting them side to side. So simple, but it works. Like, I can't get them into Warrior 2 and Warrior 1 at the bedside. Like, that doesn't make sense. But I didn't get it initially. It took me a little while to figure that out. But I know I can make a difference because I have. And each one of you in this room can do that in whatever area that you work in, whether it's home care, whether it's psychiatric nursing, whether it's being in the OR. There is elements of integrative health throughout this country, and we're in that forefront. And I know this because I work in different areas trying to implement integrative health. So I work with a number of nonprofit organizations. I work with Pula for Karma that gives therapeutic yoga, which you saw online, through different modalities. I work with a nonprofit group called Team Red, White, and Blue that helps veterans and first responders to integrate health and wellness and community to get better. And I use yoga nursing in everything I do, even though it seems nothing initial, like in the sense of 7 postures. Oh, that's simple. But we don't breathe. We don't bring awareness to what the small things are. You can really expand and grow. So I have work part-time, and I work 2 part-time jobs, in my area, and then I have my business and I do holistic conferences, integrative conferences doing yoga nursing. Because of yoga nursing, I was able to start speaking on this topic. Then I expanded my broadness and I was able to become board certified, a holistic nurse. So I'm an AHNA board certified nurse. I have 2,000 hours in holistic nursing, so does Carrie and the rest of us. And whatever element that is, addition, you don't have to be. You can take yoga nursing to as little or a lot from wherever you need it to be. And I'm very thankful for that. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I've worked with a lot of different areas and with a lot of different patients. And I'm so thankful for Annette and Carrie. And I've met more and more people throughout the country, through the area. And I'm very, I say blessed and lucky. So each one of you as nurses, I don't know what area that you're in. Margaret, what nursing area do you work in?
A women's health nurse practitioner.
Women's health. 25 years.
I'm just retired. So
And just retired. And how you can implement yoga nursing right now, right? Just for yourself.
For myself.
So I sometimes can shed a little tear thinking about it, but just in this past year, I've made traumatic changes, and I thank Annette for that. I would have never had, the power, she's not only is my yoga nurse mommy, but she's like my entrepreneur business avid. She's like, no, you could do this, just put it out there, life will work, and it does, and it's effort, and what you put in is what you get out. So if you want to put a little in, that's okay, that's fine, take this, go home, meditate on it, breathe with it, that's okay. It's fine. But if you want more out of this, just like anything else, what you do and where you want to be is what you get. And so for me, I always give love. So if anything that I'm going to do, if it doesn't have a positive and loving purpose, then I don't do it. And if you're here because you think it's a money thing and da-da-da-da-da, you're not in the right place. Where you want to be is think in your heart and things will come. And Annette was very, very loving to let me tell you I'm doing a retreat in November in an all-inclusive. I have some pamphlet there, and I also have if you know any veterans, I do veteran videos. I have free videos of yoga. I have a lot of other the place that I work at. If you want to take one, or if you want to just send me some info, or you just need some help, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here for questions. I've already been there, or I'm in the process of, or you just need help, let me know. Have a wonderful day. Bye.